Delightful return from London and a warm welcome for President Muhammadu Buhari.
I am deeply grateful to all Nigerians, Muslims and the Christians who have prayed and are continuing to pray for my good health.
Nationwide jubilation and prayers for the well-being of President Muhammadu Buhari as well as growth and development of Nigeria. Sun set for Sam Ogbemodia as Edo State government declares 7 days of mourning. A very good evening to you and thanks for joining us on the NTA Network News for tonight. I am Fumi Wakama. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to rededicate himself to the service of the nation selflessly, to the best of his ability and in the interest of all. He said this was the best way to appreciate the fervent prayers, enormous goodwill and support he continues to enjoy from Nigerians. The president stated this while addressing senior government officials who converged on the seat of government to formally welcome him back from his medical vacation in London. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo brings us the report.
The chopper that brought President Muhammadu Buhari from Kaduna, where he first arrived from London, touched down at the presidential heliport in the State House at about 8:50 Friday morning. On hand to receive the Nigerian leader after a 50-day vacation were Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Governor Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar of Zamfara State, FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, service chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police and other senior government officials. Others who could not make it to the heliport waited anxiously in one of the conference rooms in the State House to formally welcome the president and reaffirm their loyalty to his administration. President Buhari used the opportunity to express formal appreciation to Nigerians for their prayers and assured them that he is now feeling much better to perform his responsibilities.
I am deeply grateful to all Nigerians, Muslims and the Christians who have prayed and are continuing to pray for my good health. This is a testimony that in spite of the hardship being experienced, Nigerians support the government in its effort to tackle our country's challenges. The best way for me to repay you all is to rededicate myself to serving you, protecting your interests and keeping your trust. I thank you very much. May I appeal to all Nigerians to continue to pray for our country's unity, progress, and prosperity. And may God bless our country. Thank you very much.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was full of appreciation to the president for not only the trust and confidence reposed in him, but also in demonstrating a strong belief in the nation's constitution.
Not only am I, but I'm sure this entire nation is grateful to you because you have upheld our constitution in a noble and graceful fashion. For me, I must say, sir, that it has been an interesting period of going around in borrowed robes. And a more interesting fact is that because the robes are longer than my own, naturally, I had a very interesting and challenging time. But I must say that, Mr. President, you gave me so much support and very, very strongly believe that your leadership is important to this nation. It's important not only as a symbol of integrity, but it's also important as a symbol of where we want to go as a country. Where we want to go as a country is in the direction of change, which you pioneered in 2015 when we came. And we believe God very strongly that that will be the case.
Governor Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar of Zamfara State, Information Minister Lai Mohammed and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, described as heartwarming the President's return in sound health and on behalf of their constituencies reaffirmed their continued support, loyalty and cooperation.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all Nigerians for their support, for their sympathy, for their show of solidarity, for the prayers they offered you, and also to express my appreciation to all our colleagues who, despite all the pressure, despite all the taunts, remained focused and carried on as if you were around.
We continue to plead our unalloyed loyalty to you and say that we continue to maintain our stand to ensure that we'll provide the necessary security and safety environment for the government and the people of the country, so that that which you so desire for this country can be properly achieved.
On behalf of 36 governors of the Federation, Mr. President, we welcome you back. And as usual, we'll continue to remain steadfast to praying for you to have a strength to take this responsibility shouldered on you by Almighty God.
President Muhammadu Buhari left Nigeria on vacation to London on the 19th of January this year. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, wife of the president received him at the residence on arrival, full of happiness and gratitude to God for a safe return amidst family members and close associates. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Accompanied by the wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Shinbajo, her family members, the governor's wives, her aides and close associates, the wife of the president expressed happiness for the safe return of her husband. She also expressed her gratitude for the prayers by Nigerians for the president and the country in general. The head of service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, alongside Senior Special Assistant to the wife of the president, Dr. Hajosani, and others, urged Nigerians to sustain the tempo in prayers for the president and for the peace and development of Nigeria.
I want to use this opportunity to thank Nigerians for being so hopeful, being prayerful, and not allowing all the sentiments and issues to disturb our focus. We are really very happy.
We pray that the way God has sustained him and brought him back in perfect good health, he will continue to see him through.
He has come, he greeted all of us, so all we have to do now is thank God and continue with our prayers. May God give not only him, all of us, good health.
We all wish him the best. Prayers have really worked for Baba. We wish him the best to rule this country.
This president is loved by his people. Nigerians have shown concern, prayers, and I'm quite happy with the kind of support he gets from the ordinary Nigerians and people.
Amidst his family, the president could not hide his happiness. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
In the meantime, the All Progressives Congress APC has welcomed President Muhammadu Buhari back to the country after his medical vacation in the United Kingdom. A statement from the National Publicity Secretary, Malam Balaji Abdullahi, says the party believes that President Buhari is now well rested and has returned with new vigor and optimism to fix the challenges facing Nigerians and fulfill the promises the APC made during the 2015 elections. The party thanks the president for following due process and properly handing over to his deputy, Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, thereby saving the country the needless controversies and crises that was experienced in the past. The party also commends the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, for holding the fort competently for the president and for his loyalty and commitment to the change agenda of the APC. And the national president, National Council of Women Societies, Gloria Laraba Shoda, has joined other Nigerians in welcoming President Muhammadu Buhari back home after his vacation. Laraba Shoda urged all Nigerians, especially women, to continue to stand by the president and his wife, Aisha Buhari, in implementing the laudable programs for the good and well-being of the people, especially women and children. Elsewhere, residents of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, have joined other Nigerians in jubilating over the return of President Muhammadu Buhari from his medical trip in the United Kingdom. Ya Gumsu Bukar brings us that report.
The Maiduguri residents have become so anxious over the health of President Muhammadu Buhari. Hence, on his return this morning, the whole city was brought to life with jubilation and celebrations. Those who spoke to NTA News say they are indebted to the president for the relative peace being enjoyed in the state and will remain grateful to him and continuously pray for his good health and well-being.
Everybody is happy. Since he went, everybody was praying for him.
People of Borno continue to pray for him in all the mosques, all churches.
They recalled how hopeless they were before the coming of the present administration and the losses incurred during the 6 years of insurgency in the northeast region, describing President Muhammadu Buhari as responsible for the new lease of life given to them by God. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
As President Muhammadu Buhari returns from vacation abroad, people in their hundreds took to the streets in jubilation across the 34 local government areas of Katsina State. NTA News was able to capture the mood in Katsina City and Daura. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa tells us more.
Party supporters in Katsina Metropolis were not left behind as they went round the state capital chanting APC songs to welcome the president. The procession, which began from APC Secretariat, went on through major streets and terminated at the party office, was described as indication of loyalty and support for President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC-led administration. A cross-section of participants could not hide their happiness and joy as Allah has answered their prayers. Meanwhile, in Daura, the president's hometown, it was also jubilation all the way as residents took to the streets, some on foot, others in their vehicles, displaying President Muhammadu Buhari's posters.
People of Daura have the reason to come out and celebrate. What you can see, a lot of people have come out.
In Katsina, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
And a cross-section of Lagos residents told NTA News that President Muhammadu Buhari's return is a welcome development. Ken Igbeluye has details.
The news on the arrival of President Muhammadu Buhari, who has been on medical vacation for 49 days in the United Kingdom, has undoubtedly doused tension and insinuations about the president's health condition. Some residents in the state expressed joy on the return of the president.
It means God has answered our prayers because we've been praying earnestly for him to come back and be with us as our president.
We are very happy about his return. We pray that may God grant him long life, so that we can do all those good things he had in mind.
A professor with the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs and an architect said the president's return was good news and thanked God for restoring his health.
He should be heartily welcome because we are all humans and we go ill sometimes. If somebody is ill, although in this case is a president, but also he's also appointed somebody, there's somebody who is acting in his stead.
They further stressed that the arrival of the president would have a positive effect on the political stability of the country.
He has come back to Nigeria. We don't know how stable he is to continue with his work as a president. But we strongly believe that with time he'll just still come back and resume his office with full strength. The graduate moved on, the Chief Justice were appointed, sworn in, the acting president went on Niger Delta.
President Buhari has indicated his willingness to continue to rest while recuperating and that Vice President should continue to coordinate government activities. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, residents of Kaduna have expressed delight at the safe return to the country of the president after his medical vacation. Those who spoke to NTA News also expressed best wishes to the president. Tina Turo reports.
50 days ago, President Muhammadu Buhari proceeded on a 10-day vacation to the United Kingdom, which later culminated into his staying away for another 40 days to enable him seek medical care. His absence gave birth to a lot of speculations and rumors surrounding his health amidst tension in some quarters, as some Nigerians took advantage of whatever opportunity they could to express their fears, while others chose to pray for the safe return of the president. Early Friday morning, however, President Muhammadu Buhari returned to the country, to which many Nigerians expressed their delight for his return and offer their best wishes.
We are grateful to the Almighty Allah for his safe arrival, and that's what we have been waiting for, so that he will come and continue his good works.
We also pray for the president to remain in good health to enable him carry on the good work he has started.
Let him settle down to work and improve on the economy.
The war against corruption is something that we need in this country, and I think that his effort is, we appreciate all his effort.
Nigerians are hopeful that the return of the president will put the country on the right pedestal. In Kaduna, Tina Turu, NTA News.
And a cross-section of Enugu residents have also expressed happiness and gratitude to God for the safe return of President Muhammadu Buhari. Chinenye Nwoye reports.
Some Enugu residents react on the president's arrival.
There's nothing wrong in going for medical checkup and then getting treated and coming back to do his job. You know, the point remains that our people play politics with everything, but you don't play politics with people's heart.
When we saw him this morning, it was a thing of joy, despite all the speculations. When I watched his address and his speech, I was satisfied.
We should be praying to God to give them long life. As far as I'm concerned, what he's doing presently is what we have to continue to pray for him, so that God will give him more life to take this country out of the present situation we find ourselves.
While expressing satisfaction with the president's message, where he thanked Nigerians for their support and prayers, they also welcomed his idea that the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, continues to steer the ship of the nation to enable him have more rest, as advised by his doctor. In Enugu, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has expressed faith that God will restore President Muhammadu Buhari's health fully to enable him to continue with the good work he started. He said this when he led a group of Northern Christian women who prayed for the president. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
We are
After the prayer, Speaker Yakubu Dogara advised the women to live in fulfillment of the teachings of Jesus Christ. He identified love and peace as basic features of godliness, which must be extended across religion.
So we won't be doing well if you restrict your work among just Christians. You have to reach out in fulfillment of this command to people of other faith who are your neighbors.
The women commended President Buhari for defeating Boko Haram and restoring peace to the northeast.
We are indeed grateful to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our father, Muhammad Buhari GCFR, for his efforts so far in fighting corruption and combating the menace of the insurgency in Nigeria.
The visitors also commended Speaker Yakubu Dogara for his commitment in alleviating the sufferings of internally displaced persons. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, some residents of Abuja have held an interfaith special prayer session seeking God's intervention for the well-being of President Muhammadu Buhari, as well as the growth and development of the country. Hakimat Aliu has that report.
Both Christians and Muslims found a common ground to request divine intervention for the health of President Muhammadu Buhari, who they said means well for the country.
Lord, and I know you are the best and the greatest doctor. Heal our president.
This nation peacefully, in good health, make him strong.
Convener and chairman of AMAC, Abdullahi Adamu Candido, urged all and sundry to do same as God answers prayers of those who ask.
Nobody can salvage this country except we.
we can truly effect change in this country through prayers.
Looking up to God for solution in all affairs of man, the participants said the prayer is a demonstration of love for their leader and the country.
In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
And the people of Sokoto have joined other Nigerians in thanking Almighty Allah for the safe return of President Muhammadu Buhari and offered special Jumat prayers for him. Muhammad Nasir has the details.
Ya Allah, President Muhammadu Buhari is having no any care and medication apart from this.
Those were the wishes and aspirations of people in Sokoto. They went to the extent of conducting special prayers at different places and mosques to seek Allah's intervention in the president's health and safe return. People expressed joy and happiness.
We shall continue to give Mr. President our total and maximum support and cooperation and continue to pray for him, for God to continue to grant him good health and the strength to continue with the good work he had started.
We also pray that may he recover fully so that he can assume his responsibility.
This shows the efficacy and the belief of Nigerians in prayer. Muslim Christians have been praying for him, and God has answered our prayer. He's back.
I'm feeling very happy. I'm very glad.
In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
And the Muslim community in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, have also observed a special Jumat prayer session in appreciation to God for the safe return of the president. Joshua Ojito reports.
This is the second time a special prayer session for President Muhammadu Buhari is being held in Lafia under the auspices of Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, JNI, in the state. This time around, it was a prayer of thanksgiving to God Almighty for answered prayers and the safe return of President Muhammadu Buhari back to the country. Islamic clerics led by the chief imam of Lafia, Malam Dalhatu Dahiru, led the prayer session shortly after the 2-rakat Jumat prayer. State Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura and the Emir of Lafia, Alhaji Isa Mustafa Agwe I, were among worshippers during the prayer session.
I pray that Almighty God will continue to give you the strength to lead this country as He has been leading us to the right path. I pray that Almighty God should give all Nigerians the patience to support this administration.
Meanwhile, residents of Lafia took to the streets in celebration following the safe return of the president. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The FCT chapter of the Federation of Muslim Women Association in Nigeria, Form 1, held a special prayer for divine guardians for the president for economic prosperity, peace and progress of the nation. The Muslim women expressed appreciation to God for returning President Muhammadu Buhari back home safely and prayed to Allah to continue to strengthen him and give him the wisdom with which to steer the affairs of the nation. Abdul Fattah Adediran reports.
As the nation woke up to the cheering news of the return of President Muhammadu Buhari to the country from London, where he had been recuperating, Form 1 members rose to their feet to offer special thanks to Allah for a safe return of the president and for continued guidance for those in leadership position.
Our dear president has now come back home, so we wish him all the best.
Nigerian society is very, very complex, very heterogeneous. Whoever is on the leadership definitely needs our prayers.
They describe the combination of Buhari or Shimbajo as a team that works. In Abuja, Abdul Fattah Adediran, NTA News.
In a related development, Jumat mosques in Kano this Friday offered special prayers to express gratitude to God for the safe return of the president. Ali Adamo, who was at the Bayero University Mosque, reports that the congregation also prayed for unity and development of the country, as well as improved health for the president.
Sickness in human being is something that is very common and normal.
The only thing we need to do as Nigerians is to continue to pray for this country, to continue to pray for our leaders. Indeed, we are happy.
When a leader suffers, everybody suffers. When a leader is good, everybody enjoys. When he is not good, everybody will feel it. So the good thing we're supposed to do to our leaders is to pray. Pray for them to have their people in mind.
This is a remarkable achievement for Nigerians and for Nigeria. Once the president, the leader of this federation is sick, definitely the country is sick. If he's if he's healthy, the country is healthy too.
What we want of him after his return is to really be resolute and deal with our issues like the economy.
And you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Still to come, alleged fraudulent practices in the activities of insurance companies under investigation in the House of Representatives. These and more reports when we come back.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
So long for this game.
There's a problem with this car, man.
What's happening? No. Guys, that's not the time. I'm not taking time. Make it go blow my face. You can't do this thing now. We are not missing the match. You ain't going. Hello, hey. Where?
Nice. Wanna try.
Oh.
Hold on, guys. Glow can actually borrow me data. So let's get back to watching it.
I told you.
Borrow me data from Glow. Dial *321#, even if your account balance is 0.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Mommy more. Where would I be without you?
Should be Mother's Day. Show your mom love in the Peekadoo way. Prepare a special meal with Peak Milk. Peak. Reach for your peak.
To the outer framers, the hat tippers, the fringe goers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel for an even better you. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 Naira only.
Hello?
Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Xiaomi M6, carry out everything on that list, starting now.
Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power.
The Vice-Chancellor, Bayero University Kano, Professor Mohammad Yahuza Bello, on behalf of the Council, Senate, and entire university community, cordially invites the general public to the 34th Convocation Ceremonies 2015-2016 session for the conferment of honorary degrees, higher degrees, and award of prizes, scheduled to take place at 9 a.m. daily at Convocation Arena, New Campus, Guazo Road, Kano, 15th and 16th March. Convocation Ceremony of graduates of the following faculties. Friday, 17th March, Convocation Lecture. Topic: the Nigerian economy, current recession, and beyond. Speaker: Professor Akban Hogan Ekpo, Director General, West African Institute of Financial and Economic Management, Lagos. Chairman: Malam Ahmed Joda. Time: 4 p.m. 18th March, conferment of honorary degree on the following personalities. Award of higher degree. Registrar, Announcer.
Sometimes when we play, everything is great, and it's all the same. Okay, pop, it's okay, pop. It is not day. Okay, pop, it's great and great. It's the very best time. It's okay, it's okay, pop. Colorful and fun. Okay, fantastic is the one. Let's not have all of the fun. It's okay, pop, it's okay, pop. It's just so much fun. Many flavors under the sun, and the fun will never stop. It's okay, pop, it's okay, pop.
Choose from a wide variety of OK Pops for amazing experiences. OK Pop, the fun never stops.
Okay, pop, it's okay, pop.
The Future Assured project and its components Get Involved, initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition, especially in the Northeast, has indeed informed international recognition, partnerships, and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have accorded to us.
With Future Assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
You're still watching the NTA Network News, and we're reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja. The House of Representatives Committee investigating alleged fraudulent practices in the activities of insurance companies has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and other agencies being investigated to avail it of relevant documents within 1 week to enable the committee to conclude investigations as scheduled. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
The ad hoc committee is investigating all insurance covered by INEC for the year 2013, 2014 and 2015. The ad hoc committee, however, demanded comprehensive list of all political office holders covered by INEC, details on processes of engagement for the insurance companies, underwriters and the broker firms involved in the insurance transaction in the years under review. Amongst 4 agencies invited for Friday's hearing, INEC was the only one entertained. The ad hoc committee, however, frowned at the non-appearance of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Managing Director, Nigeria Ports Authority, and advised ministries, departments and agencies of government to always honor invitations by the National Assembly in line with the principles of checks and balances enshrined in a democracy.
We are sending a letter out to CBN to supply us with full details and provide some information that will tell us exactly how much naira, both the ones that are legal tender and those mutilated notes that we continue to find in circulation.
The ad hoc committee has the mandate to investigate the alleged fraudulent multiple billion naira cash payout to government officials annually by insurance companies by way of return of premium. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And still staying at the National Assembly, the federal government is strategizing to develop rural telecommunications so as to enhance communications at the grassroots, as well as developing capacity to enhance productivity and service delivery. This was the high point at the budget defense of the Minister of Communications, Adebayo Shitu. National Assembly correspondent Rabi Musa reports.
Minister of Communications, who proposed a budget of 5.6 billion naira, said emphasis will be placed on the establishment of an ICT university to professionalize the sector for authentic certificates and replace quacks. She too explained that the ministry has concluded plans for 2 additional satellites in the orbit, emphasizing that $550 million will be needed to actualize their operations.
I also want to assure you that if we have more than 1 satellite, we will be able to make more money because other countries will be able to patronize us, even agencies within Nigeria, whether private or governmental.
The House Committee on Telecommunications said the National Assembly has requested for 24 billion naira to be approved by the federal government for the satellite communication projects.
What I think we need to develop is the hub, where little children like my children, your children can go and develop themselves.
In another development, the Joint Committee on Insurance and Actuarial Matters has mediated in the lingering crisis between the National Insurance Commission and the FCT amalgamated unions.
You cannot make a joke of parliament as far as we are concerned. I'm talking to one union, so we will not talk to if I hear how the discussions are coming up. So we are unbiased. We want justice and peace in that place, period.
A member.
Now that seems to be the much we can take on that report. Turning to health now, the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, has inaugurated a primary healthcare supply chain revitalization committee to ensure that a robust supply chain is in place to deliver on the primary healthcare revitalization agenda of the federal government. Health correspondent Rabi Abdallah has the report.
The agenda of the government of the day is to revamp and revitalize up to 10,000 primary health centers across the country. That translates to at least 1 such health facility per ward. Members of the committee are supply chain experts drawn from the Federal Ministry of Health, development partners, the private sector, and the academia.
The TOR is simply clear to guide and advise government on PSC supply chain strengthening issues, including procurement, storage, distribution and monitoring of commodities, make recommendations to government on the best ways to ensure affordable pricing for PSC commodities.
The Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shaib, is to serve as chairman.
I have no doubt about the ability of this committee to deliver on their mandate, given the vast experience and commitment towards improving the health of Nigerians.
The event also featured the donation of health center power kits by a private company. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
And turning to energy, Nigeria has been officially admitted into the International Energy Charter to enable her strengthening her energy cooperation at the global stage. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in his message, enjoined the Energy Commission of Nigeria to explore all opportunities to increase the energy mix.
Getting admission into the International Energy Charter offers member states openings to attract investment opportunities in the energy sector, as well as better global standing. For the federal government of Nigeria, this membership will guide the operations in the energy sector, especially in expanding its sourcing.
It is our strong intention as a nation to utilize the principles of this charter to improve our energy systems by using modern and evolving technologies.
This maiden activity of the National Energy Summit is to form an activity between the government of Nigeria and International Energy Charter that will include the development of a template for monitoring the performance of the Nigerian energy sector.
For the Secretary General of the International Energy Charter, Urban Rosnak, Nigeria's coming into the charter will boost activities of the Union as the enormous energy resources in Nigeria will be open to global competition.
Mr. Chairman, it's not like being binding. Instead, it's a political declaration to reinforce the commitment to create a friendly investment climate.
This charter, which came into existence in 1991, has given a sense of direction to the energy market at the global level. Mie Ogide, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority is being re-engineered to live up to the digitization era. Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, said this while on an inspection visit to NTA Katsina. Correspondent Awal Haliru has that report.
The Director General said already plans have reached advanced stage in producing must-watch programs, while necessary equipment and facilities are being provided in all NTA stations. He said the familiarization visit is aimed at seeing firsthand the facilities on ground. Malam Yakubu Muhammad urged NTA staff to continue to make the best use of the available resources, adding that NTA stations across the country will soon be repositioned for greater efficiency. Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad expressed his determination to bring NTA Katsina back to its rightful place in the scheme of work in NTA. General Manager NTA Katsina Malam Sani Ibn Salihu said when he assumed office, he met an alien station where nothing was happening, but he was happy to note that NTA Katsina is back on air. He said new programs have been introduced and a comprehensive plan was initiated for revenue generation to sustain the station. The General Manager conducted the Director General round facilities at a transmission site along Jibia Road. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
And we seem to have experienced a little bit of audio loss in that report. And moving on now, the Bank of Industry is waxing strong on small and medium-scale enterprises. We now join Demola in our Lagos Network Center to fill on us in this and the business news. A very good evening to you, Demola.
Good evening to you too, Fumi, and warm welcome to Lagos. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has called on the Bank of Industry and other federal government agencies to work towards assisting small and medium enterprises in order to enhance local production and entrepreneurship. He was speaking in Sokoto at the nationwide Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic hosted by the Sokoto State Government. Usman Mohammed has more on the story.
The two-day nationwide micro, small and medium enterprises clinics hosted by Sokoto State Government brought together artisans and entrepreneurs from across the country to meet experts on how to improve their production. The clinic saw the exhibition of talent, creativity and abundant mineral resources Nigeria is endowed with. Locally produced goods and items were on display to the admiration of dignitaries. Professor Yemi Osinbajo said the aim of the nationwide micro, small and medium enterprises clinic was for various federal government agencies to facilitate local production by the owners of small and medium enterprises. He stressed the need for Nigeria to maximally harness and utilize its abundant mineral resources to become the wealthiest in Africa, if not in the world. He said Nigeria has all the resources to be an exporting country rather than import dependent, saying government is resolute to stop the country's overdependence on oil.
So it's very important for us to deepen all of our engagements in agriculture, in agro-allied, and all of the various aspects of commerce and industry, especially the non-oil sector. And this, as I said, is what the President has focused on from day one.
Governor Amin Waziri Tambol described the federal government drive to support owners of small and medium enterprises as a welcome development. He said the state government has concluded arrangement to disburse 1 billion naira as soft loan to about 25,000 women to improve their capital base. Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Aisha Abubakar, told the gathering that the federal government is committed to assist the owners of small and medium enterprises after identifying their challenges. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasser, NTA News.
And now to business news. Debt Management Office floats savings bond to accommodate small savers, as an expert describes the instrument as one that will encourage financial inclusion across the social and economic strata. Let's join Amici Pius for details on our business news.
Hello, and it's time to talk business, and nice to have you join us.
Ahead of the issuance of the Federal Government of Nigeria's savings bond in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the Executive Director, Capital Markets of the NAC, Haruna Jallo Waziri, says it will deepen and boost investors' confidence on the capital market. Federal Government savings bond is targeted at low-income earners and the ordinary Nigerian who before now do not have access to such instruments.
Three things that are very important. One is that it allows the common man to participate. Two, your interests are paid every 90 days. 3, if you need cash, you can actually come and sell it in the market to get back your cash.
We want to create access, we want to create choice, we want to create inclusiveness. That's our commitment.
The Federal Government Savings Bond, floated by the Debt Management Office on behalf of the Federal Government of Nigeria, will afford small savers opportunity to participate in funding government and at the same time earn significant return on their investment. With as little as 5,000 naira and a maximum of 50 million naira, an investor can purchase federal government bond which attracts competitive yield. Government expects a 2.36 billion naira budget deficit for 2017, with half of that fund through domestic borrowing. The Central Bank of Nigeria has so far released about $1.2 billion to commercial banks in the last 2 weeks. The fund is part of the Apex Bank strategic intervention to provide the banks with enough foreign exchange to meet customers' requests for personal traveling allowance, basic traveling allowance, medicals, and tuition fees. And now to details of movement of stocks at the nation's capital markets.
At the close of business, Friday market capitalization finished at 8.72 trillion naira. The all-share index closed at 25,000.238.01. Ahead of other gainers was Nestle with a 9 naira 44 kobo, while Total led in the losers category with a 12 naira loss. On the whole, investors purchased more than 245 million shares at 2.31 billion naira.
And that's business news. Thanks for watching.
You're still watching NTA Network News. It's now time for us to take some messages, after which the news continues. Stay with us.
My name is Whiskey, and this is my Sule. For those of you not from around here, Sule means patience has its rewards.
I was the youngest of 4 children. That's where my friends and I used to rehearse before I got signed. And lots of this becomes a part of you, becomes a part of your sound. Like I said, I never had patience. It took years for anyone to listen to you. Data changed all that. Now anything's possible. If you want something, run full tilt at it.
And this 24/7 upload, download, share it, like it, tweet it, post it world, your life can change in a second. But the only question is, are you ready for it?
Enjoy the fastest 3G and 4G data speed nationwide at the same price. *777#.
I am Whiskey. This is my Sule, my Echo, my Niger, my network.
The largest data network. Glow. Masters of data.
With Happy Cover from Leadway Assurance, you'll be covered for, well, almost anything. From house cover to automobile to personal cover, all with one single premium. Get happy. SMS happy to 22865 and we'll call you back. SMS now. Live happy with Leadway Assurance. Ensuring happiness since 1970.
Break free with EasyClick and get the freedom to choose your bonus. Choose 350% bonus to call your peeps on a T-Salat, or 250% bonus to call other networks, or get 100% data bonus to connect you to the world. Also enjoy unlimited access to digital content. Dial *545# to choose your preferred EasyClick bonus. EasyClick, freedom to choose.
It's finally here.
The most anticipated sports show on live television, featuring great sports icons from ex-internationals to famed journalists and administrators. It doesn't come bigger than the Sports Parliament. Be a part of the biggest sports talk show on television to help chart a successful path for Nigerian sports. 11 p.m. to midnight on Thursday on the NTA. Sports Parliament, where the eggheads converge.
You're still watching NTA Network News. The Federal Housing Authority, in partnership with Bauhaus International Limited, a developer, have kick-started a 260 state-of-the-art housing unit to meet the yearnings of Nigerians desirous of owning comfortable homes. Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji has the report.
Bauhaus International is a trailblazer in the annals of public-private partnerships, conceptualizing and delivering quality world-class homes. Years ago, its management signed a development agreement with the Federal Housing Authority for Rockville Gardens Estate, strategically located across the Apo and Guzape districts of the Federal Capital Territory, to comprise of detached duplexes, terrace houses, and luxury apartments.
We do not compromise at all in quality of materials, supervision, even design. We use the best. We are doing it because of it. That anybody who has bought a house in Bauhaus and hears that Bauhaus is doing a property elsewhere would not need to ask about what will come up. You have to key in.
This was planned to add at least 1,500 units in the FCT housing stock.
This noble gesture aimed at housing at least 260 families is by any standard no mean feat.
We have allowed nothing less than 5 billion naira directly to Abuja for houses to be built, in addition to all the other programs the FHA and the Ministry of Works and Housing are planning to do.
No member who doesn't come to Abuja for one thing or the other, and when they come, they will be sleeping in hotel. I think with this housing program, it will solve that problem.
Senator Gamade and Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim, a renowned quantity surveyor, also assured of legislative support in actualizing government's drive to effectively tackle the nation's housing challenge. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Companies have appealed to the Ministry of Works, Power and Housing to include the Federal Housing Authority in the national housing programs of the current administration. The union says the inclusion will enable the FHA to meet its social housing target for low-income earners. Labour correspondent Emmanuel Anyimiro reports.
Nigerians are in deficit of about 16 million housing units. The union says with the current efforts of the federal government through a number of housing initiatives, the deficit can be further reduced if the Federal Housing Authority is provided with yearly federal budgets and not self-funding.
We are aware that apart from the seed money that was given to this agency at inception, Federal Housing Authority has never been on federal government budget for so many years.
Gwarimpa is meant for workers, but you can imagine how many workers now can afford Gwarimpa. Do you see what we are saying? And this facility that was given was a loan, a facility from the federal government to construct houses for workers. And now the workers, because FHA was not funded, they have to be recycling this money.
While the union is requesting for professionals to be allowed to execute housing programs, the need for public-private partnership was also emphasized, both with consideration for the FHA. The Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Companies and affiliates of Trade Union Congress pleads for consideration over their concern. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
We take a short break now. More reports when we come back.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws. national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
You're still watching NTA Network News. Court upholds impeachment of South Korean president as exiled Gambian ex-president Yahya Jammeh plans to take to full-time farming in Equatorial Guinea. Ogechi Paul is our guide.
The UN Special Advisor on Burundi, Jamal Benoma, is warning that the political impasse in the East African nation is worsening as humanitarian situation deteriorates with increasing allegations of human rights violations, including extrajudicial killings. Benoma said Burundi is still battling with the crisis sparked off by President Pierre Nkurunziza's decision to pursue a third-term bid in 2015. Burundi authorities are said to frustrate attempts to hold talks with the opposition and human rights monitors to seek resolution of the crisis. Exiled Gambia's ex-president, Yahya Jammeh, has reportedly disclosed plans to take up full-time farming. An unnamed diplomat in Equatorial Guinea was cited as source of the story, though not clear what type of farming he was set to engage in. Jammeh ruled Gambia for 22 years and forced to cede power to current Gambia's president, Adama Barrow. The court has upheld Parliament's decision to impeach South Korean President Park Geun-hye over her alleged role in a corruption scandal involving her close friend, Choi Soon-sil. President Park Geun-hye will become the first democratically elected leader to be forced out of office. Angry protests have trailed the development, but acting President Hwang Hyo-an has called for calm. As provided by the country's constitution, fresh election for a new leader will hold in 60 days. That's Global Tidbits. Ogechi Paul, NTA News.
And now sports with Ayodeji Makede.
Handicap 26 player Hassan Mundu scored 89 goals to emerge winner of the 2017 Veteran Skiti Golf at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja, Thursday. Ekanem Ekweme won the women's category with a gross of 94 in the Kitty tournament, designed to keep the veteran players physically and mentally fit.
It's an all-body aerobics exercise, from walking to sportsmanship, to integrity of accounting your game. You can say a lot. It's all of life rolled into one.
They are so happy and appreciative of this gesture from the ladies section. So in all, I think it's...
And the Edo State government has declared 7 days of mourning for late Dr. Samuel Ogbemudia. With effect from today, the former civilian governor of defunct Bendel State passed away in Lagos at the age of 84. His son, Samuel Ogbemudia Jr., broke the news to NTA News at his residence.
I think we learned so much from him.
So what are you going to say about him? What are you going to say about him?
I let him meet the families about him, everything, from childhood.
Sympathizers at the residence of Dr. Samuel Ogbemudia said, Edo State and Nigeria will miss him dearly.
He lived a worthy life.
Dr. Samuel Osangbovo Ogbemudia was born on September 17, 1932. He was the military governor from 1967 to 1975 of the Midwest State, later named Bendel State, part of which in turn became Edo State on 1st October 1983. After the return to democracy in 1999, he became a founding father of the People's Democratic Party and retired from acting politics before Edo State governorship election last year. He joined the Nigerian Army in 1957 and attended Officer Cadet School at Aldershot, England in 1960.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has extended his heartfelt condolences to the Ogbemudia family as well as the government and people of Edo State. Presidential spokesman Femi Adesina said President Buhari mourned the elder statesman who diligently served the country with courage and dedication at crucial moments of our history. The president expressed the belief that the late Ogbemodia distinguished himself in his career as a military officer, administrator, federal minister, and left an impressive legacy of hard work and discipline. And that's the much we can take on NTA Network News for tonight. We thank you for your company. I am Fumi Wakama. Good night.